Good morning, guys. Today we'll be studying and starting our basics of Python, readily and forcefully inhabiting in the whole Python environment and also giving it a basic and clear reference to it. We will have a breakthrough through all the Python libraries, and as you can see, I have compiled here a, a set of things that we will have to study so as to proceed to a next step towards the great big giants such as the NumPy, Matplotlib, and eventually into a small data science project about COVID-19 that we will see a bit further. For right now, let's get started. So, after installing Python, the first thing you need to do is check if you have installed Python correctly or not. So the first thing we type is command prompt and run as administrator. Give it a permission of yes, and in the background here we have the command prompt running. Command prompt has basically the uh, function of the cerebellum that the brain has accordingly with the cerebellum, and it is supposedly referred to as the neural network of the Windows, the basic version that was used to compile whole of the programs and all of the apps that we see today. So getting further, first we type a small code py, and as soon as we hit enter, you see here that I am running Python 3.9.7 with all the commands. So to check if this Python is running or not, we print hello world. This program print hello world is basically the 101 of any programming language that we learned in our schools, in our colleges, or any universities. This is the first program that we run, or we can say the teachers run, but let's change, let's become a bit orthodox and let's say I am amazing. And as soon as we hit enter, it says nothing. Why? This is an error statement. Get here? Now the errors I was talking about, what did I didn't print? See, it gives the syntax error. Now if I say it again, print I am amazing and a close bracket. Now it prints I am an amazing. See, the first program in getting an error. This is the best thing that we could get in a coding language, because there are major one to comes. Okay, and if we want to check any mathematical calculations such as this plus this, it gives the answer, or this divided by this number, it gives the answer in float. So from this much of statements, we already know that Python is running properly in our systems and we can proceed further. So let's proceed further, and as I had instructed, I installed Anaconda Navigator in my programs, in my computer. You can also use another things such as PyCharm, the community edition, or you can also basically run it through Visual Studio Code. Yes, so to run through Visual Studio Code, let me open it up. First, if you have made a file, make a file and say first program.py. The extension py, if we are using a Visual Studio Code, is really important, because this is that determines what type of coding language we will be using. Suppose if I put a C, it will use all the C commands. If I put a CPP, it will use C++ commands. So we are running Python, so we're using .py. We print I. You see, in coding in Visual Studio Code is mostly preferred because it automatically has intelligent systems that tell when to put a brackets. Like if I put one bracket, it supposedly puts the second one, and according to positions, it also displays error. Like if I put a bracket unnecessarily here, it already displays an error that they should be separated by semicolons and other things. So we click this small button to make the program run. It takes a bit while for Visual Studio because it is a heavy processing app. Yes, you can see here in the first try didn't run, maybe it was loading a bit of RAM or so much. But in the second try you can see that it prints I am amazing that I have put. So this was a short tutorial of how to run a program in Visual Studio Code. Let's move a further ado and open the Anaconda navigator. It does this, don't freak out after seeing this. It's just a bit of CMD processes that are going on in the background to make the program run smoothly without causing any errors. So here we have the interface of Anaconda Navigator. Here you see various types of environments or IDEs we talked about in one of the videos, and here we have consoles and Spider, VS Code and whatnot. I'll be using Spider because I like its interface, and you can use any of these. It's just a programming tutorial that we will be learning. When Spider starts running, there are some command prompts and some. This is the main window, Spider 4, that's opening. Okay, so here let's again print I. So it prints here I am amazing. As simple as that. No worries, no dramas, no K-pop. Simply I am amazing. No errors. So from this tutorial you may have learned about various things of how to print and where to print Python. Let's also see a bit in Jupyter Notebook. It's a web-based environment, so it opens my Google Chrome. Let's get to the basic tree, and if you want to create a new notebook, you have to create new Python 3. It takes a bit of while. Click on this, name it a bit so that you don't forget about it. Test notebook. And when you print a command here, in the next line it gives the output. You see, the editor line has a bit of border in it and the output line has no border in it. This is the difference between Jupyter Notebook's editor and input and output window. So here we may have learned about various things. We may have learned about various things, but not all the things, because all the things are really confusing and complex. We need to keep things simple and more integrating, so that we can help with our projects, and we can make our projects easily without any further ado, or without any complications that we may have in our brain causing neural hemorrhage. And we'll see next in the next videos some basics of programming and some data sets, or we can say some basic things that I have mentioned here. Okay, thank you everyone.